In a world where kindness should reign, a shadow of prejudice lurks just beneath the surface. When a young black man steps into a store seeking nothing more than acceptance, he unknowingly ignites a confrontation that will challenge the very fabric of community and humanity. Will empathy triumph over hatred, or will silence continue to shield the unjust? Join us as we delve into a powerful story of courage, resilience, and the undeniable truth that what goes around comes around. Before we dive into today's story, let us know in the comments where in the world are you watching this video from. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into stories that resonate with the heart and challenge the mind. Today, we have a tale that will undoubtedly stir your emotions and make you reflect on the notion of justice, empathy, and the consequences of our actions. This is not just another story, it's a powerful reminder of how our choices can shape our destinies and the lives of those around us. This is Joe's Corner Shop, a quaint establishment that has seen better days. The paint on the sign has faded, and the shelves inside are filled with a hodgepodge of goods, from snacks and drinks to household items. It's the kind of place you might pass by without a second thought, but for some, it represents more than just a store. It's a symbol of the community, a connection point for neighbors and friends. As we step inside, we can sense the tension that hangs in the air. Joe, the store owner, is an older man with a furrowed brow and a demeanor that reflects years of stress. Behind the counter, he often wears a scowl, his eyes darting around the store as if searching for something or someone. There's a palpable unease that seems to permeate the very walls of Joe's Corner Shop, a stark contrast to the lively street outside. You see, Joe has developed a reputation in the neighborhood. Many locals have shared their experiences of feeling unwelcome in his store, particularly those from marginalized communities. Rumors swirl about his discriminatory attitudes, and yet he remains an integral part of this community, whether people like him or not. His store is a necessary stop for those who live nearby, even if they dread the interactions that come with it. But today, something is different. As we observe the street, we notice a young black man walking toward the store. His demeanor is calm, and his presence exudes confidence. He is a familiar face, a regular customer who has often been met with Joe's cold stares. The air thickens with anticipation as he approaches the door, and we can't help but wonder what will unfold inside. As the door chimes, signaling the young man's entrance, we can see Joe's expression shift. The scowl deepens, and a flicker of anger ignites in his eyes. It's as if he's been waiting for this moment, ready to unleash his prejudices. What happens next is not just a confrontation, it's a moment that will trigger a series of events that no one could have predicted. Little do they know, this encounter will set into motion a chain of events that highlights the very essence of karma. Lisa, a compassionate soul and a frequent customer, will soon find herself caught in the middle of this tension. With her kind heart and unwavering spirit, she embodies the empathy that can bridge divides and challenge injustice. As we witness the unfolding drama inside Joe's Corner Shop, we're reminded that our actions have consequences. The choices we make, right or wrong, can come back to haunt us in ways we never expected. What happens next will leave you questioning the very nature of justice, empathy, and the power of community. So stick with us as we delve deeper into this story, exploring how one man's prejudice could lead to a reckoning he never saw coming. This is a tale of karma, empathy, and the undeniable strength of community. Let's dive in and discover how this all unfolds. As the sun shines brightly overhead, casting a warm glow on the neighborhood park, we turn our attention to a remarkable individual, Lisa. Unlike the tense atmosphere of Joe's Corner Shop, Lisa embodies the spirit of kindness and compassion that resonates deeply within the community. Lisa is in her early 30s, with a radiant smile that can light up even the gloomiest of days. She is the type of person who effortlessly draws others in, creating an environment where everyone feels welcome. Whether it's volunteering at local shelters or organizing community events, her heart is always in the right place. Today, we find her at the park, where she is helping children fly kites, her laughter echoing like music in the air. But Lisa's kindness goes beyond just her sunny disposition. It's rooted in her own experiences with adversity. Growing up in a diverse neighborhood, she learned the importance of empathy from a young age. Lisa witnessed firsthand the struggles of her friends and neighbors, and rather than turning a blind eye, she chose to engage, listen, and support those around her. This upbringing has shaped her into a fierce advocate for justice and equality. In every interaction, Lisa strives to uplift those who feel marginalized or unheard. Her friends often say that she has a unique ability to see the world through others' eyes, a quality that makes her a beacon of hope in a world that can sometimes feel harsh and unforgiving. People flock to her for advice, comfort, and a listening ear, knowing that Lisa will never judge them, but instead offer understanding and support. As she strolls through the community, Lisa takes the time to greet everyone she passes. From the elderly woman who sits on her porch to the group of teenagers hanging out at the corner, Lisa's genuine warmth leaves an indelible mark on everyone she encounters. Her presence is like a soothing balm, reminding people that they are not alone in their struggles and that kindness can still thrive in a world filled with challenges. However, beneath her cheerful exterior lies a profound sensitivity to the injustices that plague society. Lisa often reflects on the disparities she witnesses, particularly in her own neighborhood. The stories of her friends and acquaintances who have faced discrimination or prejudice weigh heavily on her heart. It's this empathy that propels her to stand up for others, to be their voice when they feel silenced. As she sits on the bench scrolling through social media, she stumbles upon a post that catches her attention. It's a discussion about Joe's Corner Shop and the troubling reports of discrimination that have circulated in the community. Lisa's heart sinks as she reads the accounts of people who have faced hostility when they merely tried to shop in the store. She knows that these experiences are not isolated incidents, but rather symptoms of a larger issue that needs to be addressed. Determined to take action, Lisa resolves to confront the situation head-on. She knows that it's not enough to merely sympathize from a distance, she must be a part of the solution. With her strong sense of justice guiding her, she heads toward Joe's Corner Shop, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. In that moment, Lisa embodies the very essence of empathy, recognizing the pain of others and choosing to act. She understands that silence in the face of injustice is complicity, and she refuses to stand by while her fellow community members are treated unfairly. Lisa's heart beats with the rhythm of compassion, and it drives her to advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. As Lisa walks through the neighborhood, we see snippets of her life: a community meeting where she passionately speaks about inclusivity, a fundraiser she organized to support local families in need, and a heartfelt conversation with a friend who has faced discrimination. Each moment reflects her unwavering commitment to nurturing a community where everyone feels valued and respected. Now, as she stands outside Joe's Corner Shop, the weight of the moment settles upon her. She knows that this confrontation could change the course of events, not just for herself, but for everyone affected by Joe's actions. With determination in her heart and empathy as her guiding light, Lisa prepares to step inside and confront the prejudice that has plagued their community. Visual, the screen fades to black, leading into the next scene where tensions rise inside Joe's Corner Shop. As Lisa approaches Joe's Corner Shop, the air is thick with anticipation. The bustling sounds of the street fade into the background, replaced by the muffled chatter inside the store. It's a world unto itself, one that's about to become the stage for an unsettling incident that will ripple through the community. With a mix of determination and apprehension, Lisa steps through the door, the familiar chime ringing out as she crosses the threshold. The moment she enters, she feels the tension in the room, a palpable energy that seems to hang heavily in the air. It's a stark contrast to the lively atmosphere outside, and Lisa's heart races as she scans the store. At the counter, Joe is busy rearranging items, his face contorted in irritation. He barely acknowledges Lisa's presence, his focus intent on the task at hand. The negative energy radiating from him is almost suffocating, and Lisa feels a knot forming in her stomach. She knows she must confront him, but she's unsure of how to approach the situation. Just then, the door swings open again, and in walks a young black man, a familiar face to many in the community. He carries himself confidently, but Lisa can sense the tension rising in the store. As he glances at the shelves, Lisa notices Joe's demeanor shift instantly. His eyes narrow, and his posture stiffens. Joe told, "What do you want here? We don't serve your kind." The words hang in the air like a thunderclap, shocking everyone in the store. Lisa's heart sinks as she witnesses the blatant racism spewing from Joe's mouth. The young man's face falls, and for a moment, time seems to freeze. The customer, who had simply come in to shop, is now the target of Joe's venomous attack. Lisa told Joe that's completely unacceptable. He's just here to shop like anyone else. Joe told, "Mind your own business, Lisa. You don't understand what's going on here." The young man stands tall, refusing to let Joe's words diminish his dignity. Lisa admires his strength in the face of such blatant discrimination, but she can feel the weight of the moment pressing down on them all. She knows that this is not just a confrontation between Joe and the young man, it's a reflection of deeper societal issues that have been festering for far too long. Around them, other customers watch the confrontation unfold, their expressions a mix of disbelief and discomfort. Some shift uneasily, while others exchange glances, unsure of how to react. Lisa realizes that they too are witnesses to this injustice, and she feels a surge of responsibility to speak out. Lisa told Joe, "You can't treat people this way. We're a community, and we need to support one another, not tear each other down." Joe told, "Stay out of this. This is my store, and I'll run it how I see fit." "Young man, I'm not here to cause trouble, I just want to buy something. You can't treat me like this." The tension escalates, and the atmosphere feels as if it could erupt at any moment. Lisa's heart races as she realizes the severity of the situation. She knows they are at a crossroads. This moment could either result in change or reinforce the negative cycle of hatred and discrimination. But where are the voices of support? Lisa scans the room, hoping that someone else will step in, that someone else will echo her sentiments. Yet the silence is deafening, leaving her feeling isolated in her determination to stand up against injustice. In a moment of desperation, Joe grabs his phone, a malicious glint in his eyes. Is he really going to call the police? Lisa's heart sinks, and a wave of dread washes over her. She knows that this decision could have dire consequences for the young man who is simply trying to exist in a space that should welcome him. With every fiber of her being, Lisa feels a deep urge to protect the young man from the injustice unfolding before her. She steps closer to him, ready to intervene, aware that the stakes have just been raised. This moment, charged with emotion and tension, is about to take a turn that no one could have predicted. The atmosphere inside Joe's corner shop is charged with raw emotion, each heartbeat echoing louder than the last. As Joe's hand hovers over his phone, the threat of calling the police looms like a dark cloud overhead. Lisa stands at the center of this storm, her heart racing as she grapples with the weight of the moment. In that split second, Lisa knows she can't remain silent. The young man, who had merely come in to shop, is now facing the very real possibility of being unjustly targeted simply because of the color of his skin. She feels a surge of anger rise within her, not just at Joe, but at the larger societal issues that have allowed such discrimination to fester unchecked. Lisa told Joe, "Stop, you can't do this, you're about to ruin someone's life over your hate." Joe told, "Stay out of this, Lisa. This is my store and I'll decide who's welcome here." The young man holds his ground, refusing to be intimidated. Lisa admires his courage, but she can see the flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. She knows he's caught in a web of prejudice and her heart aches for him. Lisa told, "Listen, you don't have to take this. You have every right to be here. We all do. Don't let him take that from you." Joe's anger flares, and Lisa can feel the tension in the room crackling like a live wire. She knows she must tread carefully, but her instinct to defend the young man propels her forward. The silence of the other customers weighs heavily on her, amplifying her determination to be a voice for those who feel silenced. Lisa told, "Can't you see what's happening here? We're all part of this community. We can't let one person's hatred dictate how we treat each other." But her words hang in the air, met with an unsettling silence. Some customers exchange glances filled with uncertainty, while others seem unwilling to intervene. Lisa feels the isolation of her stance, yet she refuses to back down. She knows that inaction is complicity. Joe told, "You think you're some kind of hero, don't you? You're just a meddling fool. This is my business, and I'll protect it from whoever I want." Lisa told, "Protecting it by spreading hate? That's not protection, Joe, that's cowardice." In that moment, Lisa realizes that her words may be the only thing standing between the young man and a deeply unjust situation. She can see the hurt etched on his face, and it fuels her resolve to stand firm. She knows that they are in a battle not just against Joe, but against the insidious nature of prejudice itself. Just as the first ring echoes through the store, Lisa takes a bold step forward, her voice rising above the tension. Lisa told Joe, "Think about what you're doing. You're about to call the police on an innocent person. Do you really want that on your conscience?" For a fleeting moment, doubt crosses Joe's face, and Lisa seizes the opportunity. She knows that this moment could turn the tide, but she needs to appeal to whatever humanity remains in him. Lisa told, "Every person in this store has a story. What you're doing is not just wrong, it's dangerous. Can't you see that? We have the power to create a community where everyone feels safe and respected." Lisa's words resonate with some of the customers, and she can see the shift in energy. The tension is still thick, but there's a flicker of hope as they begin to reconsider their positions. In the face of Lisa's conviction, Joe's resolve begins to falter. The phone call he was so eager to make now feels monumental, and for the first time he appears uncertain about how to proceed. Lisa told, "We can choose kindness over hate. We can choose to support one another instead of tearing each other down. Please, Joe, don't let this moment define you." As Lisa speaks, she realizes that this isn't just about the young man. It's about all of them. It's about standing for what's right, even in the face of adversity. It's about creating a community where respect triumphs over fear. The room is silent and all eyes are on Joe. The power of the moment is palpable, and Lisa feels the weight of their collective gaze. She has thrown herself into the fray, and now it's up to Joe to decide how this story will unfold. The atmosphere inside Joe's corner shop is electric, thick with tension as everyone holds their breath, waiting for Joe's next move. Lisa stands her ground, her heart pounding in her chest, acutely aware that the stakes have never been higher. The room feels frozen in time, a moment suspended between fear and the possibility of change. Just moments ago, Joe was ready to call the police, but now the weight of Lisa's words hangs heavily in the air. For a fleeting moment, he hesitates, confusion flickering across his face. But as the tension mounts, the ringing of a phone breaks the silence, a different phone, one that Joe recognizes all too well. Joe's phone vibrates and he reluctantly answers it, his irritation palpable. The conversation is brief and his tone is curt, but the words coming through the receiver are clear. The police are on their way. Despite the weight of the moment, Joe has chosen to escalate the situation rather than de-escalate it. The police are on their way, and the reality of what that means crashes down on Lisa like a wave of ice. She knows that this could lead to dire consequences for the young man, who is merely trying to exist in a place that should be welcoming. The young man's expression shifts from determination to fear. He stands still, his eyes darting between Joe and Lisa, unsure of what will happen next. Lisa's heart aches for him. She can feel the weight of the injustice that is about to unfold, and it fuels her resolve to fight back. Lisa told, "Don't worry, I'm here with you, just stay calm. We'll get through this together." Around them, the atmosphere shifts again as whispers ripple through the store. Customers exchange concerned glances, some stepping back as if trying to distance themselves from the unfolding chaos. Others lean in, eager to hear what will happen next, caught between empathy and fear. Joe told, "Good, let them come. I'll show them exactly what kind of trouble you're causing in my store." Joe's bravado is alarming, and Lisa realizes that his willingness to escalate the situation could lead to unpredictable outcomes. She knows that the police arriving could mean the difference between justice and further injustice, and she's determined to do everything in her power to protect the young man. From outside, the sound of sirens grows closer, and Lisa feels her heart race. She can almost hear the beating of her own heart over the cacophony of emotions swirling around her. With each passing moment, she knows they are running out of time and she must act quickly. Lisa told, "Listen everyone, we need to stand together. We can't let fear dictate how we treat each other." Lisa's words seem to resonate with some of the customers, igniting a spark of courage in those who have been silent. A few nod in agreement, while others look on, their expressions shifting from fear to determination. Just then, the door swings open, and two police officers step inside, their presence immediately commanding attention. The sound of the bell jingling seems to echo through the tension-filled space, and all eyes turn toward them. The officers quickly take in the scene, Lisa standing protectively beside the young man, Joe behind the counter, and the other customers watching intently. Officer 1 told, "What seems to be the problem here?" Joe told, "This troublemaker came into my store, and I don't want him here. I'm tired of these people causing issues." Lisa's heart drops as she watches the officer's focus shift to the young man. She can see the fear in his eyes and knows that he is about to be judged not on his character, but on the color of his skin. Lisa told, "Wait, he hasn't done anything wrong. Joe is the one who has been discriminatory. This young man is just trying to shop peacefully." Officer 2 told, "Let's all take a breath and sort this out. We're here to help, but we need to hear everyone's side." As the officers begin to question everyone involved, Lisa feels a moment of hope. Perhaps this could lead to a resolution, an opportunity for the truth to come out. She knows that she must stay strong and articulate, ensuring that the young man's voice is heard above the noise. In this critical moment, the tension is palpable. Lisa understands that their fates are intertwined, and the outcome of this confrontation could change the course of their lives forever. She stands resolute, ready to defend what is right, even if the odds seem daunting. As the police officers take control of the situation, the atmosphere inside Joe's corner shop shifts, a sense of urgency permeating the air. Lisa stands beside the young man, her heart racing as she watches the officers begin to piece together the puzzle of what has unfolded. The weight of the moment is heavy, and she knows that the truth must come to light. Officer 1 told, "All right, sir, can you explain what happened here?" Joe told, "This man came in here to cause trouble. He's always hanging around disrupting my customers. I'm just trying to run my business without any issues." Young man told, "That's not true. I've come here many times and I've never caused any problems. I just wanted to buy something like anyone else." Lisa told, "Joe is the one who has been hostile. He called the police on an innocent customer who only came to shop." Officer 2 told, "Let's keep it calm and focus on the facts. We'll get to the bottom of this." In this heated exchange, Lisa feels a flicker of hope. Perhaps the officers can see through Joe's facade and recognize the truth of what's happening. But just as the tension seems to simmer, an unexpected twist begins to unfold, one that will turn the entire situation on its head. Suddenly, the door swings open again, and a woman bursts through, her face flushed and frantic. She is a local community leader, known for her advocacy work and dedication to social justice. Lisa's heart leaps as she recognizes her, knowing that this could change everything. Community leader told, "I heard that there was a situation here and I came as soon as I could. I know this community and I can tell you that Joe's behavior has been unacceptable for far too long." Joe told, "Who do you think you are? You don't know what's going on here." Community leader told, "I know exactly what's going on. You've built a reputation for being discriminatory, and it's time someone held you accountable for your actions." The officers nod, taking in her words as they begin to see the bigger picture. This isn't just a simple dispute, it's a reflection of systemic issues that have plagued the community for too long. They can feel the weight of her authority and the support of those around her. Lisa feels a wave of relief wash over her. The community leader's presence brings validation to their fight, and she knows that they are no longer alone in this struggle. The tide is beginning to turn, and it feels as if justice is finally within reach. Community leader told, "Everyone here knows what Joe has done. It's time to speak up. We can't let fear silence us any longer." Slowly, the murmurs of agreement spread through the store, and Lisa can see a collective awakening among the customers. They are no longer passive observers. They're ready to stand up for what is right. Joe told, "I didn't mean it like that. Community leader told, "No more excuses, Joe. Your actions have consequences, and it's time to take responsibility. We're not going to let this continue." Officer 1 told, "Sir, we need to talk to you about your treatment of customers in this store. This behavior is unacceptable." As the officers begin to question Joe further, Lisa can see the walls closing in around him. The twist of fate, the arrival of the community leader, has shifted the power dynamic, and Joe now finds himself cornered by the very people he has sought to marginalize. In this moment, the true power of community shines through. Together, they have dismantled the facade that Joe has built around himself, exposing the ugliness of his prejudice for all to see. The realization that they're not alone brings a renewed sense of strength to everyone present. As the officers delve deeper, asking questions and gathering testimonies from the customers, Lisa feels a sense of empowerment. They are not just fighting for the young man's dignity, they are fighting for the dignity of everyone who has ever been marginalized in this space. Joe told, "I didn't mean to hurt anyone, I just wanted to protect my store." Community leader told, "Protecting your store doesn't mean hurting others. You can't hide behind that excuse anymore. It's time for you to learn what it means to be a part of this community." As the truth unfolds, Joe's defenses crumble and the reality of his actions begins to set in. The support of the community, embodied by the young man, Lisa, and the community leader, has created a powerful force that he cannot ignore. The customers, once hesitant, now stand together, their voices rising in unison. They share their own experiences, recounting instances of discrimination they have faced in the store, amplifying the impact of their collective testimony. This is more than just an incident. It's a turning point for the community. They are no longer willing to accept the status quo. Together, they are rewriting the narrative, challenging the norms that have allowed the prejudice to thrive for too long. As the officers conclude their questioning, Joe realizes that he is no longer the one in control. The twist of fate, the collective courage of the community, has turned the tide against him. He stands alone, facing the consequences of his actions, and he begins to understand the weight of the harm he has caused. As the officers wrap up their questioning, the weight of the moment hangs heavy in the air. Joe stands behind the counter, his bravado stripped away, replaced by a look of disbelief and vulnerability. The reality of his actions has come crashing down, and the consequences are becoming all too real. Officer 1 told, "Sir, we've heard enough. Your behavior in this store has been unacceptable, and we'll be filing a report regarding your treatment of customers." Joe told, "I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to protect my business." Community leader told, "Protecting your business does not justify discrimination. It's time to take accountability for your actions, Joe. We're done letting this continue." In that moment, the young man's courage shines through. He steps forward, his voice steady and clear. Young man told, "This isn't just about me. It's about everyone who's faced discrimination right here in this store. We deserve to be treated with respect." The atmosphere shifts again, and the other customers begin to rally around the young man. They share their own stories, accounts of feeling unwelcome, of prejudice that has long been tolerated. The power of their collective voices creates a wave of solidarity that echoes throughout the shop. Lisa feels a surge of hope as she witnesses this transformation. What started as a confrontation has become a powerful movement for change, a moment that will resonate far beyond the walls of Joe's corner shop. The community is reclaiming its voice, demanding accountability and respect. Officer 2 told, "Thank you for coming forward. We take these matters seriously, and we will ensure that this investigation is thorough." In the face of community resistance, Joe's defenses crumble. The officer's attention has shifted away from the young man and toward the systemic issues that have plagued his store. He stands isolated, the walls closing in around him as he grapples with the consequences of his actions. Community leader told, "This is just the beginning. We must continue to stand together, support one another, and create a community where everyone feels safe and valued." We have the power to change the narrative. As the community comes together, the atmosphere shifts from tension to empowerment. They share their commitment to support one another, vowing to hold Joe accountable and ensure that no one else has to endure the same discrimination. In this pivotal moment, the community has taken a stand, but the aftermath of Joe's actions will echo for some time. The investigation will unfold, and the consequences of his choices will ripple through the lives of everyone involved. The question now remains, what will happen next? The realization of what he has lost begins to dawn on him. The sense of power he once held in his store is slipping away, and with it, the very foundation of his business. Joe is left to confront not only the damage to his reputation, but also the deep-seated prejudices that have led him to this moment. Young man told, "Thank you for standing up for me. I didn't think anyone would care." Lisa told, "Of course, we all deserve to be treated with respect, and we're stronger when we stand together." As the customers begin to leave Joe's corner shop, they do so with a sense of triumph. They have reclaimed their voices, and the solidarity they've forged will carry them forward. The aftermath of this day will resonate throughout the community. Together, they have forged a path toward change, but the journey is far from over. Will Joe learn from this experience, or will he continue to let his prejudices dictate his actions, and what will become of the young man, Lisa, and the community moving forward? One thing is certain, they have sparked a flame of hope that cannot be extinguished. What would you do if you were in Lisa's shoes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. You enjoy powerful stories like this? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Your support makes a difference.